And set. Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode and I am back with the penultimate episode of Nier Automata. Last time we trekked throughout time and space to get most of the endings we hadn't seen before, and this time we will be picking up one of the last two endings that we haven't seen yet, Ending Y, which is considered to be the hardest ending in the game, and part of that is because to get Ending Y, you need to have collected and upgraded every weapon in the game, which is also the reason for that big long hiatus I just went on. And the reason that hiatus was so long is that since the last recording, I put nearly 21 hours into this game. Yeah, collecting and upgrading all the weapons can be a real hassle. Unless you really, really love this game, I would not recommend doing it yourself. Just watch this video. I suffered, so you don't have to. Just watch this video and call it good. That being said, it wasn't all a terrible experience. I got to explore some parts of the world that I hadn't seen. I got to fight a couple super bosses that I didn't know existed. It turns out that the bronze rabbit machine statue at the entrance to the amusement park is actually a super boss. The way you fight it is just by attacking it for a while until it activates and starts to fight back. Even when you're high level, it's a certain amount of damage that you have to do to it before it activates. And even when you're fairly high leveled, like in the 70s or 80s in terms of levels, it will take up to a minute or two of just straight attacking it to get it to activate. So it's not something you're likely to find on your own on your first try. But if you know about it, it is actually an amazing experience farm, especially if you're playing as 9S. If you fight it as A2 or 2B, it's a massive damage sponge, so unless you're ready for the long haul, I wouldn't recommend doing that, but if you play it as 9S, honestly, you can just hack it once or twice and it's over. And the hacking is just the normal Goliath unit and boss kind of hacking. It's not anything special like we saw in the tower. It's just normal stuff that we've seen time and time again. So it's very easy to take out that way, even if you're not high leveled. And it drops so much experience. Even fighting it at level 91, you can fight it and get multiple levels off of a single fight. So if you're in the need for EXP, I highly recommend checking it out. That being said, with all of the weapons upgraded, I have myself kitted out a bit differently. You'll notice that I am now level 93. I will go in and go over all the chips that I have equipped. I have the standard OS stuff equipped. I have weapon attack +2, weapon attack +3, ranged attack +2, and ranged attack up +3. I have 3 max HP up +3s, and an auto heal +2. Then I have EXP gain up +3, which also helped me in getting to level 93. And I have auto use item +2. I probably don't need EXP gain up +3 anymore, but I have it on just in case. Also, on 2B, I now have the Yorha Type 40 blade. This is either Type 40 or Type 3. I believe it's the Type 40 blade. Let me make sure of that real quick. Yep, it's the Type 40 blade, and for light attacks, I have the Faith. The Type 40 blade is a heavy weapon, and the Faith is a... I'm sorry. Type 40 blade is a large sword, and the Faith is a small sword. And then on 9S, you can see there, I have the Beast Curse equipped, which is also a small sword. Honestly, the Beast set is actually amazing. It does really good damage. The reason I have the Type 40 blade equipped instead of the Beast blade, which you'll probably remember I had equipped on 2B for most of the game, and A2. But I switched it out for the Type 40 blade, even though I believe at fully upgraded the Beast blade does do more damage than the Type 40 blade. I just think the Type 40 blade kind of fits 2B's aesthetic a bit more. Also along those lines, I will be playing as 2B for this ending, just because this is really our last chance that we're going to get to play as her, and since we started as her, might as well give her a nice going off present. But before we do, most of the weapons in the game can be bought from shops or found in specific places in the overworld, or you get them as part of the main story. But there is one weapon that you do have to fight a super boss for. So I will turn it over to myself from the past, who will show you how to go about getting that weapon. And I will be back shortly after. Hello everybody, I'm Brainy Diode from the past, and I'm just taking over from future me real quick to go over how to get the last weapon. So the requirements for getting this weapon are you have to have made it to at least Route B, have met Emil in Route B, so have at least started the forest zone, and have completed the quest Emil's Memories. And I believe that if you've unlocked Chapter Select, it doesn't matter when you completed that quest, just as long as you have it done. If you haven't yet completed if you haven't yet unlocked Chapter Select, excuse me, you have to have completed Emil's Memories in the playthrough that you want to finish this in, and you have to be playing as 9S to get this weapon. So yeah, in case you were wondering, I've warped into Chapter 7-1 as 9S to get this weapon, so that's a good place to get it. So first you go down here, and if you see this pipe here, you gotta jump into that. I'm showing off some of the new jumping techniques I learned while collecting all the other weapons. And you go into this elevator. This elevator is unlocked by the elevator key that you get at the end of Emil's Memories, which is part of the reason why you needed to complete that quest before taking care of this one. I'm actually jumping in partway through the little quest to get this weapon because the first part is pretty bland, and we're going to be going over most of it right now anyway. So you'll see that elevator is taking us to this little cave area, and the enemies in this little cave area are much higher leveled than the enemies up above. Still, we are much higher leveled than them, so it's not too much of an issue. Got a dented plate there. I'm paying very close attention to all the items that I'm picking up. Upgrading all of the weapons has taught me to do that, and it is not a lesson I will soon be forgetting. Whew, my goodness, that was a hassle. One thing I will note while we were in this cave area is that there is a certain weapon upgrade item called a clean nut. If you wanted to make a joke about that, trust me, every joke there is to make has already been made. Trying to find out where to pick up clean nuts is just, not a fun experience, because you have to sit through a bunch of innuendos, and it's just... But enough about that. Why I bring up clean nuts specifically is because according to the wiki that I found, and according to most of the forums that I found, the only way to get clean nuts is to complete side quests or look in chests, and those are all expendable. Or rather, you can't get them back once you use them. And according to these wikis and these forums, the only way to get an unlimited source of clean nuts is... Ooh, haven't been back into this area yet. I'm gonna go explore this. Most of this cave I won't be exploring too thoroughly because it's not really all that interesting. But this area I haven't been to, so I'm gonna go check it out. As I was saying, according to all of the online resources I found, the only place to get an unlimited source of clean nuts is from Emil, buying it from Emil's shop, and specifically, you have to get Emil to spawn next to the resistance camp, which is a very rare spawn for him to get, and then you have to get him to spawn with the upgrade. Ooh, a Project Gestalt report. You have to get him to spawn with the upgrade shop inventory instead of the skill chip and weapon shop inventory, which is another hassle. Let us look at the archives. Old World Information Project Gestalt Report 7. It has been decided that the United Nations will launch a full-scale investigation and infiltration operation in order to determine the cause of the massive Legion outbreak in the Tokyo area. Details regarding the progress of Project Gestalt are to be shared as part of this effort, though we will insist that any information which leaves the country must first be thoroughly verified by our committee. In particular, information regarding relapses, named tentative, must be kept in strictest confidence. Spooky. So anyway, as I was saying, those forums and that wiki are all liars, because as it turns out, there is an android here that we can get an item from. Melee defense +1, not the best item in the world, but not bad either. So, there are actually enemies that can drop clean nuts. A lot of them you will find down in this cave area, which is why I bring it up now. But additionally, it seems that most, if not all, linked sphere type machines, those are the weird drill snake machines that I talked a lot of bad stuff about back in Route A. That was a long time ago, wow. Anyway, the snake drill machines, we're about to see one coming up not too far away. Those, it appears that most, if not all of them, can also drop clean nuts. So, if you see that Emil is the only source of clean nuts, then that's a lie. So anyway, speaking of Emil, what you have to do to finish this quest is you have to talk to Emil. The stuff I've already done, at least. You have to go talk to Emil, and when he tells you where he lives, he'll say he lives deep down underground. Once he tells you where he lives, then you come down to this cave area and go to the very end to the room that we are going to get to in the not-so-distant future. I was hoping that would be a clean nut so I could prove my point just there, but it was not. That's okay. Hopefully I won't need any clean nuts to finish off upgrading the weapon I'm about to get. Anyway, once you're down here, you go to the end of this little cave area. It's not exactly a little cave area. Go to the end of this big cave area, and you will wind up in Emil's residence, which we are about to see. Once you're in Emil's residence, you'll see an item, and you will need to pick up that item, and then go back and talk to Emil again. That item is a cosmetic item called Emil's Mask, or Emil Mask, or something along those lines. And once you've gotten that item, you go back and talk to Emil again, and he will talk about bandits having broken into his residence, and how he's taken more precautions in storing his stuff now, so he has them in locked containers. But we are back here to steal from him again, because we are just terrible people, I suppose. So through this door, this is Emil's residence. Don't exactly know where that hole is leading to, if Emil claims to live so deep underground, but I suppose we'll never know. Anyway, here is Emil's residence. He's got plenty of Emil masks on this rack over here. Underneath this rack is actually where you get the Emil mask that you need for this quest. But anyway, here is the locked container where he stores his stuff. And this is why you are required to play as 9S for this part, because you need to unlock this container. And you will get Emil's head, which I believe is a weapon. It is not a weapon, excuse me. Nope, it is not a weapon. You'll see some of the weapons that I have now. Yep, okay, Emil's head is not a weapon, it's actually the Emil heads. But now that we have stolen Emil's head, we can pass through this door again, and...
So you were the bandit all along? You may be a cherished companion of mine, but you still must be punished.
So, now we've got a boss fight against Emil. He is level 99, so that can be a little bit threatening if you haven't been leveling up too much. But thankfully, we are much higher level now than during my last recording session, so hopefully he will not be too much of an issue. Okay, he can still do a fair bit of damage there. Thankfully, we've nearly hacked into him. Okay. I don't believe this is a hacking configuration we've seen before. This doesn't look particularly familiar. Ah, there we go. That'll probably do a decent amount of damage to him. Alright, he's down to about half health already. Unfortunately, hacking into him does take a really long time. Also, these Emil heads don't appear to be going away. Ah, this is more dangerous than I expected. Wow. Okay, even at the high level that I'm at, this is a lot harder than I expected it to be. My goodness. Ow. Okay, okay. I have a new idea. Okay. Never mind. I will not use my new idea. Looks like we don't particularly need to. He is playing a shop theme. Interesting. This one looks familiar. This is definitely one we've had before. Yeah, that is definitely a meal shop theme going on. Weird. Okay, there we go. Is he about done? Oh, he's so very close. Oh, come on. There we go.
I guess power's the only thing that counts in this world anymore, huh? Well, go ahead and use this room for whatever you like. I don't mind.
Aww. Poor Emil. And then here, there we go. We have obtained the weapon Emil heads. That is the final weapon that I had left to gain. What happens if we talk to him? Can we even? We can't talk to him. Alright, that's a little weird. Oh, we are going in the wrong direction. So, once you've gotten the Emil heads, I'm sure you noticed us drift down that huge cavern area earlier, so you're probably wondering how to get back up. Well, in fact, you just have to go up to this little ridge here and enter this elevator. And that will take you up here, which is very close to the entrance of this cave. And to clarify, this elevator cannot be used until you use it on the bottom floor first. So you can't go down using that elevator the first time you visit this cave. You have to go up with it first, and then you can use it to go up and down. But I didn't do that because I wanted to show off a little bit more of the cave. And then we ride this we can probably turn our flashlight off now. We ride this elevator up. This takes longer than I remember. There we go. We ride that elevator up, and we are back to the city ruins. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is just to drift down here, right down to this access point at the bottom, and I am going to quick save. And then what I am going to do after I quick save is I am going to go upgrade that weapon that I just got, and I will turn it back over to future me to tell you the rest of how to get ending Y. I will see you later. And I'm back. That was actually my second time going through that whole intro, because the first time I realized that I didn't actually have the gameplay capture on when I was doing the introduction. I just had the audio capture on, so I probably could have worked around that a bit. But, you know, this is just a bit easier. But without further ado, now that we have all the weapons, all of them are fully upgraded, let us head onwards towards ending Y. So once you do all that, you have to head back to the commercial facility. You'll notice that there is a quest giver inside, so once we defeat this Goliath unit, which we've already done, being level 93 makes a lot of fights a lot easier. Now that we've defeated the Goliath unit, did he really not drop anything? Other than money, of course. Looks like he hasn't. Let's go talk to this quest giver. Well,
I can't
looky
believe
who
the
it
size of the
is.
commercial facility. The people of the old world must have led pretty good lives. I bet it was fun to shop back when you had so many choices.
We don't need such things.
Don't be so sure about that. Once we eradicate the machine life forms, us soldiers won't have anything left to do. We'll enter a new age of peace. And when that happens, we should go shopping together. I could buy you, I don't know, a t-shirt maybe? Something that looks good on you.
A t-shirt?
What, not interested?
When that day comes, I'm all for it.
That's a promise, right?
Yep.
Whew, hearing that dialogue after we know what happens to 2B it hits different. Anyway, I don't want to talk to 9S right now, game. I want to talk to Emil. Please. There we go. Oh, Heya! I don't want to buy anything.
Wow, you've sure gotten strong. I doubt you'll be needing my help anymore.
What do you mean?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Take care now.
Emil sure is acting odd. Pod.
Pursuit marker placed on map. Target is heading toward the desert.
Nice work.
Alright, so we've gotten a quest, Emil's Determination. Now let me just say, just like I'm sure me from the past said, because I don't actually remember what I said all that well, but just like I'm sure me from the past said, getting Emil to spawn in the right places for all the stuff you need to buy from him, and making sure he has the right inventory. Oh my goodness, it is such a hassle. I am so ready to kill this man without pity or remorse. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rag on 2B here. It's just... he can get a little bit annoying after a while. He's not too bad, though. Not too bad at all. I say that before we have the boss fight against him. Or the second boss fight against him, rather. We'll see how annoying he is after that one. My guess is I might have a little bit less, even less of a favorable opinion after that. So, before I go on, I just want to mention something real quick. I found out you can ride animals in this game. Look at this. You can ride animals in this game. I did not know this. The way I found this out is actually kind of hilarious. So this boar right here was standing under this archway, see? And I was playing as A2, and I wanted to run up and get up to the top of this to collect this item here. But for some reason, when I came up to the top, I glitched through the arch and landed on top of the boar. And that is how I found out that you can ride animals in this game. I can't believe I have put more than 60 hours into this game total. And I cannot believe, of all things, that is how I found out that you can ride animals. Anyway, enough about that. I am going to find out where exactly Emil is. Why did it zoom us over there? That is not where I wanted to look. Okay, so that is not where we want to go. Alright, Emil's determination is up this way, it looks like. So, I feel like there was... Oh yes, something else I wanted to mention. Koshi and Roshi. When we fought them, those were the two bosses that we fought on our way up the tower. And when we fought them, I said that I didn't remember what their body of work included. Well, I went and found out that Koshi and Roshi are not the most familiar names for those two specific philosophers in the Western world. Koshi especially is much more famous in the Western world for another name of his. Koshi is actually the philosopher Confucius, who I am almost certain that you've heard of. So that clears that up a bit. Meanwhile, Roshi is a philosopher named Lao Zi. Lao space Z-I. And that is a...
Are these Emil?
May have accidentally activated the boss fight. Not yet, though. That is actually, I believe, a name that I remember, but I still can't remember what his body of work included. So we'll notice that there's a lot of, like, giant Emil heads here, and it's kind of creepy, to be honest. And here is the Emil that we know and love, lying on his side for some reason. So, here we go. Get ready for ending Y.
Emil!
Watch out. They're still alive.
Uh-oh.
What? Damn it.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
Sound advice.
So it looks like Emil is basically Hegel, but with Emil heads and also level 99. So this is going to be an interesting fight. Remember, I'm suffering, so you don't have to. Alright, this is a little bit terrifying, not gonna lie.
No.
Alright. Actually, this isn't giving us too much trouble so far.
What happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting in wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own.
No.
Ah, this is not good. Just after I said we're not having too much trouble with them, I'm starting to have some trouble with them. What on earth? Okay, that's terrifying. This is terrifying. This boss is terrifying. Oh, jeez. Oh, my goodness. Ow. Where did that laser come from? Holy cow. I do have to say, though, I actually really like this boss. Oh, wow. There are more of them. Okay. I thought they were forming back into their one big form, but I was incorrect. I do have to say I actually really like this boss theme, though. This is cool. This is the first time I'm hearing it. This is actually really neat. I'm liking it a lot. The boss itself, not so much. Like I have said, Hegel is my least favorite boss in the game, and this is just a harder version of that fight. And I am not loving that. Ah! I can't see this thing's health bar. I mean, I can see some of their health bars, but not the one for the specific boss that I'm fighting. Or the specific orb that I'm fighting, rather. Okay. You know, gotta be honest, kind of wish I was playing as 9S right now, but that's okay. That's okay. I knew it was gonna be hard. I knew it was gonna be hard. I went for it anyway. Nobody to blame but myself. Alright, we're getting rid of some of them. We're getting rid of some of them. Ah. Some of them are getting rid of us. Alright, we have 17 small recoveries left. Ah, jeez. Oh, this is not going well. This is not going well. Can I use an... crap? No! And I'm back. I've switched out a couple of my chips. Specifically, I switched out my EXP gain up for melee defense +3, a range defense +2. I switched out my auto use item +2 for an auto use item +3, and I added another max HP up +4. So hopefully this will help me fare a little bit better against the boss. I think I'm going to try once more as 2B, and if I can't manage that, I will strongly consider switching to 9S. Alright, so now that I'm all healed up, let's talk to Emil. Maybe. He's so hard to talk to.
Emil,
there's just slippery sand too close.
They're still alive. What?
Damn it.
Alert. Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
Sound advice.
There is one thing I forgot to mention last time, which is that towards the end of this boss fight, he will apparently start giving a speech. Once that speech starts, make sure not to attack.
Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
No.
Soldier, what happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting and wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own.
Enough.
Alright, it seems that I'm finishing them off quite quick now. I need to make sure that I'm only going after ones that I haven't already finished off. I'm sure that'll make the fight go a little bit quicker. I do like having some nice big damage output. I don't like getting hit. Man. It's just too hard to tell what's going on. No! Alright, at least one more go with 2B. I feel like I'm getting really close.
Magical weapons from the old world detected. Magical elements have a high probability of penetrating all defense systems. Proposal. Evade.
Sound advice.
Alert. Elemental output of magical weapons has increased.
No!
Those are... what happened to my clones? Years of multiplying. Years of fighting in wars. Their sense of self just deteriorated. I need to settle things with them. On my own!
Enough!
What we need to do is not be right in the middle. Very difficult to tell what's going on here. I wish that the ones we had already defeated would stop attacking us, because, like, we already defeated them? What is attacking me? I can't tell what's hitting me. This is just insane. Looks like some of them are finally going down. Staying down, maybe, I hope. Now I can't lock onto anything anymore for some reason. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and heal. Oh, crap.
But even so...
Crap.
all of this is wrong. No matter how hard or how painful, they never gave up. They kept fighting because they believed they could overcome someday. Isn't that right, Kaine? Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. Because this is the world my friend tried to save.
Okay, don't attack anymore. Don't attack anymore. The Emils caused their fusion reactors to go out of control, turning the planet into a dead chunk of rock, tumbling through the vast vacuum of an uncaring universe. Oh, ending Y. Oh, there we go. I did it. We did it. There we go. Okay. So the reason I was very insistent that you don't attack from there is because ending Y is actually the only missable ending in the game. If you destroy that head once it starts the countdown sequence, then you finish the Emil's determination quest, and there is no way to go back and fight that boss again. Which means if you do fight it and do defeat it all the way, ending Y is lost to you forever. You can't go back and get it. So if you want to get ending Y, be very, very careful not to let that happen. Now, we're going to go back and fight this thing again and actually see the actual ending of Emil's determination. Because, you know, one fight against that thing wasn't enough, apparently.
But even so, all of this is wrong. No matter how hard or how painful, they never gave up. They kept fighting because they believed they could overcome someday. Isn't that right, Kaine? Even if it's pointless, you still have to do it. Because this is the world my friend tried to save.
Alright.
I think this is it for me. I can't believe I remembered something so important. Right at the end.
Emil.
I was running from the memories of losing those close to me. It was so hard. So painful. At the end, I did a lot of bad things to you, 2B. But now I get to see them again. Really soon.
You'll be alright. We can repair you.
Oh. Hey. There you are. I'm so glad. I got to see you all again.
Emil.
Well, you know, after all that, I'm glad I got to see that. It gives a lot of depth to a character that, at least in this game, didn't really have it up to this point. Well, now that we've seen ending Y and Emil's determination, here we are. All that's left is ending E. Next time, it's the finale of Nier Automata. I will see you then.